That is the question. And there's only one answer to that. Yorkshire tea.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got to be. Hello, stream, by the way. We are soon to be live. I actually think we've got enough people to go on time today. Yes, Yorkshire tea. The best tea. There is no alternative, apart from maybe PG tips.
Oh, no.
No?
It's completely different. It's a completely different tea.
It is a completely different tea, but I like both of them. I think my fascination with PG tips comes from my nan, because she used to have it, and it was like, you know, here, Yorkshire, it's got to be. Wheat tea is heresy.
Oh, great.
Yeah. And that green rubbish my sister drinks as well. I don't know what all that's about. Here we go, Nick. We got another Yorkshireman in the channel. Yes. Box a month of the Yorkshire tea. How you know you're manly. Good story.
Can I?
Go on. Can you? What do you want to do?
Can I find a GIF
For
Yorkshire tea?
You've already done the website. I bet you there's a tea gif.
Oh, there's a Venom one.
For the win, says score. I can do that.
Yeah, there we go.
For Yorkshire. Exactly. Right then, I'm going to start rolling because we look like we've got enough people and it's only 3 minutes past. So let's break the habit of a lifetime and go then, yeah? Welcome to Roundtable 79, where you get to catch up with the WNG team, find out what we have planned for the coming weeks, and hear about changes that have happened over the last week. We'll be doing some Q&A afterwards and influencing the future of the community. Maybe give some prizes out, maybe not. It's in the script, so I've got to say it. Weekly maintenance at 9 a.m. tomorrow, as usual. I'm, as usual, going to have fun waiting for people to go, where are the servers gone? Shouldn't be too long tomorrow, I don't think. We got a new API to go in tomorrow. We've got a new version of ArcSharp. We've got its companion UI. I think we've got some hyena meat packs to stuff in there as well. There's stuff to do, but shouldn't be too long. So let's get on with things.
Yeah, we've got the hyenodon meat packs to go in. Yes. That should excite some people.
Yes. I'm not going there. I'm really not.
No.
We're not going there. So I'm going to start off with some Arc stuff. So the basics we're starting with this week, because this is coming up a lot. Tribe governance and its benefits and pitfalls if you do not use it. This might seem obvious to a lot of people, but it obviously isn't, because we're getting more and more tickets about this sort of thing. So I've seen a lot of people comment on this now. You let a new member into your tribe, they do something you don't like, or steal or kill your prized dinos. Thank you, Fred. Are you coming to sit up here, or are you just going to bitch at me for the next half an hour? No? I didn't think so. Right, okay, where were we?
Tribe governance and how to govern your tribe.
Really a big pain. But how many people, I want to know, do actually know about tribe governance and pin codes? As a tribe leader or admin, you can control who opens what door, what they have access to, and therefore limit the damage done by new people who are still learning or making mistakes, or basically just being douchebags and are out to harm you or your tribe directly. If you pin your doors, don't give out tribe admin, and control access to your valuables, breeding lines, in locked rooms or pinned soul terminals, you can massively minimize the damage a player can do to you. Yes, as Tilt mentioned, yeah, there's a few people who've experienced this. On top of that, you can govern who builds things, who can use things, for example, who can take down walls and get to all your stuff you've locked away behind them. And I just wanted to put it out there that there's no shame in wanting to protect what you built at all. Some of you have got very, very big tribes, let people in, try to be nice, and end up being disappointed in people, or even just, plain arguments go off and people get kicked out. It's something we all need to pay attention to. Also on those lines as well, prospective recruits need to understand that tribe governance affects them too. So if your tribe is set to merge all assets, the risk of entering a tribe is there for them too. Their assets then become tribe owned, and that's agreement as to what happens in between tribe and recruit. It's a two-way street. So people have got to know what they could possibly lose, what they can gain going into a tribe, and tribe leadership mustn't feel like they can't do something. It's absolutely within your means if you want to. If you've got a tribe member who is moaning too much, wants access too fast, it's a red flag. If you want to remove some from your tribe, you shouldn't feel bad about doing that. You've got to structure things a little bit better, and I think with a bit more planning and looking into what you can and can't do with your tribes, it's going to avert the need for more tickets, arguments, or people losing things. I'm willing to help mediate things if things go badly, obviously, but we're not in the habit of getting directly involved with tribe disputes. Nobody wants to log in and find an admin has removed half their stuff to give to the owner of, ticket number 2021 because they disputed it. It goes down a dark rabbit hole as far as I'm concerned, so I really don't particularly want us to be getting involved in tribe disputes and arguments. I would like it handled from the tribe side or from the player side. So if you have questions, if you need more information, there's a lot out there. There's the general chat, there's feedback, there's all sorts of, there's community help. There are loads of places you can learn about what you can and can't do with your tribe and how you can protect it. That's my first big thing of the day.
Couple of tips for you as well if you're messing with tribe governance and pin codes and stuff like that. Obviously, if you store all your valuables in a room and you pin code the door, make sure that you restrict who can pick up walls and doors.
Yeah.
Because there's no point in putting a lock on the door if they could just pick up the door and walk off with it.
Yeah.
The other thing as well is you can set, I believe, personal or tribe ownership for dinos and stuff.
Yes.
So, come to an agreement with your tribe members how you manage your breeding lines and stuff like that. There's tons of tools there available to you. Just use them.
Yeah. Have a look through the tribe governance side of things, see what options you've got. You don't have to apply them straight away, but just go through them. And if you need help, this is in prep really for things that are coming. World bosses are going to be hard. They're going to need groups of people to run them. So, as somebody mentioned in chat, solo life. I get that. That's all cool too. But some people don't like being solo, and they're so panicky, and rightfully so, about letting someone into the tribe and giving them access to stuff. I just wanted to put that out there, that there's lots of tools for you to be able to deal with that, and do not feel bad about wanting to secure your stuff either. It's a thing that everybody should do, and I think it's not promoted enough. No, the TLDR is that don't take on new tribe mates. It's just control what they can do. Over time, you get to know people. You'll know whether they're right or wrong, and you can slowly increase access. Or you can invent new ways of giving them access to certain things they need to do daily job. Maybe you have a separate cell terminal that's unlocked that has some tribe dinosaurs in, so you can go and farm, you can go and haul, you can do whatever you need to do. But the breeding lines maybe are behind a locked door. It's just about controlling what you don't want anything to go wrong with. It's just damage limitation.
It's like managing anything.
Yeah.
So like on Discord, for example, we don't give everybody admin as soon as they turn up. They have to work their way up through the ranks to get access to various things. And that's even the same with the player ranks. The more you participate, the longer you're on, the more stuff you get to do. Same with any multiplayer game. So, you have ranks in WoW, you have tribe governance in EVE. It's all the same thing. It's just people don't want to use it in ARC for whatever reason. But I think you should.
Totally.
other things we have in place, which people may not know about, is or may not be fully aware of. Everything is automatically locked when you build it, and even a locked box cannot be accessed by anybody outside your tribe. Even an unlocked box can't be accessed by anybody outside your tribe. That's something we put in place because people were leaving things unlocked and forgetting, and then somebody was crawling through a window and cleaning them out. There's a few select structures which you can leave unlocked and anybody can access, like the community boxes, the billboards, or the notice boards, sorry, and a couple of the crafting stations that you see at the trading posts. They're all publicly accessible if you leave them unlocked. To bypass that, you use PIN codes. So if you leave a box out and you want somebody else to access it, just pop a PIN code on it and unlock it, and then they'll be able to access it.
In an ideal world, yes, we need a Negan for every tribe dispute, but who's going to take the job? Okay, so that's tribes and what I wanted to cover there. The next piece of information basically is just world bosses. Just want to assure people we're working on it. In fact, done some more on this today. We're basically now just getting the mechanics into place of how the thing will work, making sure it does work. Then we're good to go, I believe. I think we're a lot closer than we were, aren't we?
Yeah, and there's some other functionality that we've come across that may be of use to us. We found out how to restrict access to the actual world boss itself, so only certain people can pass through the border, and that works quite well. We can also make it so the arena, you can't exit from it other than a teleport, which I think could be quite interesting. So you'll go into the arena, start the boss fight, and the only way you're going to get out is if you win and then /TP, or if you die. So I think that might be quite exciting. But we're going to play with that over the coming days, and hopefully we'll be able to deploy our first version, or version 2 of World Bosses soon. We've also renamed the server to be the event server as opposed to the World Boss server, because I think we would have the same kind of problems with raidable bases as we would have with World Bosses. They would pretty much get dogpiled as soon as one popped, and then there'd be arguments over it. So the way we're thinking it is the time when you buy access to the event server and have a permission that lasts a set amount of time, you also have the choice of doing raidable bases as well. That would be like a phase 2 coming soon, but I want to add more stuff to that map. No wild dinos or anything like that, but their points of interest or monuments or whatever you want to call them can be attacked and looted. I think that's about that.
That's about it for World Bosses this week. We're going to keep working on it. It's one of the highest things on priority at the moment, so that's coming. Another thing that I noticed the other day, and I'll keep banging on about it, servers going down and no tickets to see. Bit of an obvious one, but apparently not so obvious. If we don't see the ticket or you don't ticket it, they don't ping us. If we're sleeping or we're out or we're doing stuff, tickets always get through. General chat messages usually do not. So if you see a server go down, ask in general. If nobody else has reported it, please do report it. I think Scorched Earth was down for at least 2 hours more than it should have been the other day because nobody actually bothered. So yeah, ticket servers, please. We absolutely don't mind seeing tickets for a server being down because that is our problem. We will sort it out. What else have we got?
I think on the topic of tickets, we get lots of tickets for stuff that is just, in my mind, not important. Not something that you need to potentially wake up an admin for or drag us out of whatever we happen to be doing. But then when the important stuff happens, nothing. It's just like tumbleweed.
Yeah.
So we need to flip that on its head, and hence my comment that I posted in the tickets channel saying, only ticket for stuff that you need an admin for. Don't ticket to say, how do I set up the automation on my propagator? Or, you know, how do I tame this dino? That's really not useful, because what will happen is we'll eventually switch off to tickets. Ticketing pings every single admin and staff member, so somebody will see it like straight away. But if all the tickets that come in are just random crap, as I would put it, we'll eventually just start ignoring them. So we need to flip that one on its head. Tickets for servers down, or servers locked up, or a piece of functionality is broken, or I transferred and I did download and nothing happened, or stuff like that. The important things, queries about your supporter ranks, all that kind of stuff. Don't DM a mod, an admin, or a member of staff with your ticket information, because they've already been notified. And in fact, all of them get notified with a ticket, not just one. So I think DMs are really unfair, because the same members of staff or admins get the DMs all the time and they can never switch off. Whereas with a ticket, anyone can pick it up and run with it.
Yeah. You essentially get access to way more people with more eyes, and probably a bit more round-the-clock support as well.
Most definitely.
I'm good, but at 3 a.m. you're going to find me in bed. I'm not getting up for no server down. But at least I know it's there in the morning. It just struck me as funny that the people were talking about it in general all night, but nobody actually put the ticket in. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Morning Nani is more sort of like, where's my coffee? Not shit. I must read general chat to see if there's a server down. It's just the crawl to the coffee machine and then getting dragged outside by the dog.
We do trawl through chat when we get back online, but that could be like 7-8 hours later.
Yes, totally.
So yeah, it's just help us to help you better, I suppose, would be the way to put it.
Exactly that. So moving on from servers down, then we know about those. Some platform saddle changes coming in tomorrow. Go on.
I wouldn't exactly say changes, because the limits are not changing.
No,
we're keeping them as they are. So a long time ago, we had some issues with platform saddles on smaller dinos, and those dinos being used to run caves with 50 turrets strapped to their back, or that kind of stuff, or
war trikes.
Slaughtering war trikes, or slaughtering bosses on Extinction with a bazillion turrets strapped to the backs of dinos. So what we've done is, and this was something that's been on our list for months and months and months, and really should have happened as soon as we put the trike, Karkanos, and what was the other one? Mammoth saddles back in the game.
Yeah.
Platform saddles back in the game. So we've set the structure limits on platform saddles to the default limits, and we've limited the number of turrets you can put on a platform saddle to 4 turrets, which is perfectly sufficient for self-defense, but not overpowering for doing boss fights, would be my take.
Pretty much.
Given that the default setup is no turrets on platform saddles, I think allowing some for self-defense is good.
Yeah.
And then that encourages people back towards using what would be classed as proper tactics for fights and caves and stuff like that.
Yeah. Whole squads of Toric trikes.
Cool. Yeah, exactly.
What else have we got then? So, as you mentioned earlier, we've added cross-chat keys for the event server. So basically, if you're talking, you see somebody's actually on events now, rather than it just being Lost Island. Doc's the same. Cross-server chat keys have been made more generic, so everything's now referred to as CED and RAD for Center docs and Ragnarok docs. And I believe, for all those docs fans out there, dino spawning should be back to normal now. Certainly appears like the reading it says it is.
Yes, docks has been fixed, and your higher level dinos will be spawning properly.
Sweet.
We've got a good one for people who like desert elementals. Last week we blocked a few dinos from being bred in the propagator because the results were not correct. You get a different dino to the one you were breeding. Turns out that the report about that being a problem for desert elementals from CI was slightly incorrect. It's breeding them the vanilla way will give you a Carno. So we've re-enabled desert elementals being bred in a propagator, and we're going to block them being bred through normal outside propagator mechanics. The only reason the block's put in place is so you don't get a dino you're not expecting.
I know that traumatized Smiley very much.
Another arc point is just a reminder, we double-checked this, the AFK timer is 60 minutes and then you are kicked from the server.
Yes.
Wanted some clarification on that last week. We double-checked it, and that is the case.
Yeah, it's in seconds, but it's definitely set to 60 minutes, which I think is more than enough. The only real way you can kill yourself in 60 minutes by being AFK without really trying is Murder Snow or Scorched Earth, sort of Desert Storm would do it. So be careful, folks.
Other than that, I don't think we have anything else to add.
I have a little bit of Rust stuff. It is tiny, so I'll quickly blam through that. It was reported to me last week. I think it was last week. I'm fairly sure it was last week or very early this week. That NPCs on Rust are a little bit OP. Turns out they were. They were a little bit more powerful. So I have changed, for those of you who are listening for Rust, and I know a couple of you do, target memory duration has been halved for NPCs to 30 seconds, down from 60. That's basically the amount of time that they remember that you've been there. So if you get out of line of sight of them and you completely leave their area, they will completely forget you were there in 30 seconds rather than pursuing you halfway across the map. 60 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, does it? But a lot can happen in 60 seconds. So that's less chase.
When you're waiting for 60 seconds in a game for something to happen, it's a
nightmare.
Yeah, it's quite a while.
Yeah, I mean 30 seconds is quite a while when somebody has an Uzi shoved up your bottom, but 60 was a bit much. Also changed for the NPCs to make them better to deal with. The NPC aim cone scale has been reined in a little bit. Now that's bullet spread. So the ability over a lot of distance for them to be able to hit you or just be pinging off the metal bits around you. So they're not sort of laser accurate now. This does vary from place to place, so harder places like military bases will have NPCs that are more accurate than some dude who's guarding an oil well on the side of the road or a bit of trash loot by a car. So just bear in mind that if you're in a military facility, then yes, they're going to be a little more accurate. They're soldiers, but in general, you shouldn't be one-shotted from 200 meters by a sniper now. Also changed the vision cone of the NPC. So this is basically the sight cone. When you're looking forward, you can't see sort of behind you. You can only see a certain radius around you. So we've brought that down from 180 degrees, which is just kind of scary and would require eyes on the side of your head, to 65, which is just over the human vision of 60 degrees. So it's pretty accurate, actually. It's sneaking up on them much better now, and I've tested this. Defaulted their run speed, so nothing can now run faster than the default Rust NPC speed. The sense range for snipers has been lowered to 150. Sorry, lowered from 150 to 100. So again, snipers are not quite that deadly over distance. You need to be, I wouldn't say fairly close to them, but it's reasonable now to be hit by a sniper. NPC attack range multipliers, again, have been defaulted. And their chase range has been curbed a little bit as well, apart from military guys, because they're highly trained military professionals, obviously. So if you have any problems with NPCs on Rust, please do report back if anybody's playing, and we will sort them out. They just need training a little bit and slapping around occasionally, but things are a lot better. and will continue to
I
improve
was
with time.
So I was playing on Rust the other day, and I was really actually enjoying the NPC interaction. I took myself into the train yard and decided to take it upon myself to try and clear it out. Um, got pretty far until I got nailed with a grenade over a wall,
Yes.
and the whole experience was actually it was good. It was a lot better than a lot of NPCs that I've fought in games before, and they almost had a human feeling to them.
Yeah.
The only consolation was my loot was still there when I got back to it.
Yes.
However, another NPC with another grenade was also there, so it
That's
took a little longer to get my shit back.
that's where things will be changing soon. As we said before, the direction of the server is going to be a little bit more less stressful. So I would say I think we've got a wipe due this Thursday, I believe,
Yeah,
which would be the 2 week halfway map. At the end of the month, the aim is to go what Rust calls softcore mode. So there will be no raiding until the last week of the month. The last 5 days of the month will be an all-out rocket fest, kill everybody, destroy everything, because the map wipes at the end of the month anyway. So those of you who've been losing a lot of gear and felt that's highly unfair, you will now be able to build in peace. PvP will still be on, but there is a difference with softcore where hardcore mode you lose everything. The player who kills you will totally, ruin you, pick up everything you've got on you and throw the rest in the wind. The softcore way is there are vending machines in the bandit camp area. And when you die, basically, you just make your way to the bandit camp, and only half of your gear actually drops for the other player. So things are going to be tuned to be a lot more fair, so that people can't get ruined completely in the first 2 days. And there's now a point to doing big, beautiful builds for the whole month. So lots and lots of stuff coming. But I'm going to keep it short because it's not actually in yet. It's a work in progress. And we've just spent a whole day knocking out most of the older art problems. So hopefully in a couple of weeks, we're going to see a big difference with Rust and should be a lot more, I wouldn't say PvE, but a lot more friendly people who've never played before or don't like the hardcore style. I know a lot of our builders are going to appreciate this because the building style and yeah, exactly, big beautiful builds, Nuka. Exactly
yeah,
that. You can build to your heart's content for the whole month, knowing that you can't get it all blown up. And then the last week, it's basically the purge. We go wild. As soon as I've got the rest of the NPCs tweaked and most of this in, I intend to start playing because it needs testing. If anybody fancies a go and has feedback and stuff like that, massively open to feedback right now. That's concluding my Rust session for this week.
so I don't think. Let me double check our notes again. But there wasn't anything after this bit, was there?
Not this week, I don't think.
Okay, cool.
Other
Okay.
than the any questions
So,
bit.
well, hold on. I think we should show them what else we've been working on.
I think we should.
Yeah,
Everything is good.
showing things is good. So, we've got a few things going on our website at the moment.
Ooh. Do you want to stream?
Yes, we can do this. I'm going to stream.
Let me.
So let's do an application. I don't think there's anything sensitive on the screen at the moment. Comes if I log out. Would logging out be better? Yeah, I'll log
Don't
out
show
of that,
everybody the
and then
dirty
I'll
secrets.
do that. Can I add stuff? Bear with me. See if I can. Oh yes, I can. Good. And right, okay, yeah, I can do this. There we go.
there. And then hopefully
So
we can do
my
this.
screen will end up going live on the YouTube stream.
There you go. We're all live on the YouTube stream.
There we go. So we've been working on the website in the background over the last week to give it a bit of a facelift and add some more functionality to it. What you're looking at now is the new theme for WickedNinjaGames.
It's eye friendly, folks. Doesn't burn.
Ah.
I'm a big fan of this grey theme. I really, really like it. The old one was just too much like. Rah!
Yeah, dark mode for the website.
Oh yeah.
Yes, with a little bit of Discord flavor thrown in. So when you do the website, you have to be very conscious of contrasting colors, and they have to be over a certain value to make it pleasing to the eye. The contrast balance has to be just right. So yeah, we've been working on a bit of a dark mode for the website. On top of that as well, we're upgrading the PayPal payment system to the latest version. They've been nagging me about it for months now. So I've basically said to them, look, we can't upgrade to a new system unless you give us these features. And they finally caved in and gave us some of the features we were requesting. So this will hopefully allow users to manage your donations more effectively. You'll be able to change your bill dates. You'll be able to sign up mid-month and have it carry over to the middle of the month. You'll be able to pause, unpause, and do all sorts of switch between different tiers, all kind of seamlessly.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully that'll be something that we'll be putting in soon. Also, part of the checkout process, or when you go through and you buy a supporter pack, it asks you for your Discord ID and stuff like that. That'll all we'll be able to automatically link over to Discord, and you'll be able to connect and disconnect your Steam accounts and Discord accounts from the website. So there's a lot going on there. Let me just log in. It shouldn't show you that. Cool. So, I'm logged in, and there's my basket. For those of you that aren't aware, any supporters, you do get a discount on points. You get 20% off. I've also done some work on the buttons to make them all the same size, line up with the boxes and stuff like that. Got some nice little gold stars there now. Redone the footer and everything. So hopefully the site will be a lot more usable. It'll also work much better on mobile as well, which will be really nice. And that's it. That's all I've got for this week.
It's looking quite good. And a very good technical overhaul in the background as well. It's all coming together. Does look much better.
New account section up here for account details. Unclaimed items, for those of you who are not aware. If the server is not up when you buy a supporter pack or an in-game item, it goes into your unclaimed items. You then go into that section and you claim them, and it'll then deliver those items for you when the server's back up. There'll be a section in here as well for managing your subscriptions and stuff like that. So yeah, it's all coming together.
Indeed.
So we've got a couple of questions.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Why don't you make a toggle for dark and light mode? Some people like light mode, some people like dark mode. I would love to do that, but it's a real pain in the bottom. Unfortunately, making this dark mode work properly requires structural changes that prevent you just flipping from one to the other.
Question from Merax is, I've noticed two actually. What about Tech Domination Rex mutation upgrades? Is it possible to upgrade them now because there was a bug?
There still is a bug. I've been waiting for the appropriate time to release a new version of the mod. Unfortunately, we're always really busy, and I know how people hate mod updates.
And then what was the other one? I tried Mutator on, I hate this word, Carchodontosaurus to change gender, but it didn't change. Is it possible to add the Carchodontosaurus change gender with the Mutator?
I don't know. It's not something we're blocking. We don't have a whitelist. It's probably just broken. What I would possibly suggest is we bin off the mutator and we somehow incorporate all the functions of the mutator into the ArcShop. But that wouldn't work because it does AoE mutations and stuff like that, and AoE gender changes. So no, that wouldn't work.
On another server, when you laid a sleeping pod, did not get kicked. Do you get kicked here? Not that I'm aware of.
Probably not.
Who
knows?
Some unsupported or unbeknownst thing that nobody's ever reported before. Yeah, you can get AFK kicked after an hour, yes.
The AFK kick is a vanilla piece of functionality. Yes, the philosophy behind blocking the mutator growth pulse is it increases it so massively with our rates that it's almost instant growth. The price of that pulse would have to be exorbitant to justify it. It's completely broken. It's something like 25 times, isn't it?
Crazy. Why did you add a nav bar to the right-hand side in the spare space? So if someone searches, for example, 6500, they can click on 65 art points very quickly.
Interesting you should say that. The spare space you're seeing around here is only because of the screen I'm playing on. Most people will be operating at somewhere in the region of that. I'm assuming you can still see that. Am I still even streaming it?
Yeah, you're streaming.
Yeah, so that's what you would typically see on a normal monitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one as well. Would you guys ever consider social channels like question of the day or movie TV discussion?
Oh, you mean a search bar next to my account here, like built into the navigation?
Yeah,
that works okay. We can have a search button, no problem with that at all. I didn't think there was enough content on the site to warrant it. Just kind of like go shop Arc and boom, it's right there and add to your basket. So it's what, 1 click, 2 clicks to get that into your basket, which I wouldn't say is too bad. So if you had to dig around in the site for ages, yeah, sure. Yeah, search boxes in navigation bars. I've tried it in the past. It's problematic, especially when your resolutions start dropping and things start scrunching and wrapping. So there you've got, that's kind of like tablet, mobile, that's mobile. And then your search box would appear in this bar here somewhere. It would be a bit weird. Or you'd have a little search icon somewhere up here. Tablet mode, you're probably looking at something like that, and your nav's already started to wrap. Desktop gives you like that. So yes, you'd have room for it on desktop. There's lots of different things we can do. So yeah, I'll try it all, see what happens. I mean, we used to have the currency selector up in the nav bar, but that did some weird stuff. Anyways, sneak peek at what we're doing. Lots happening in the background. Better integration on the website with the whole in-game and kind of like Discord experience. As you can see, it's pulling through my avatar there as well. But further down the line, we're going to start integrating game elements into the website as well. So we did some experimentation with stats when we were running a 7-day server and stuff like that. So we want to bring leaderboards to the website, but also think of them like, what are they called? Explorer notes, collectibles, that kind of thing. So you can see your progress on the site, share that progress with other people, let other people look at it, and kind of like build out a profile to show off your achievements in game, but online. Is it possible to remove a decoration on Dino's platform that is bugged and can't be picked up? Or remove the platform saddle, destroying structures on it? What you want to do, Maraxis, unfortunately, is get an admin to solve all your dino. That will trash any structures on the dino for you. Treasure chest respawn times are randomized, and so are the locations as well. So if there's, say, 10 locations, 5 chests will be up at any one time. They will despawn and move as well. Teleporting to realms with super spyglass fading outlines. That's a vanilla game bug. It also happens with the tech helmet overlays and other vision modes on dinos. The only way to fix it is to turn them off and reconnect in your console.
Thoughts on breedable Fenrirs?
Thoughts on breedable Fenrirs? This has been asked. My same thoughts on the hesitation for, and this is going to bring up another conversation, my same thoughts on the hesitation to make the aberration domination Rex not the only Rex that can go on Aber. It removes a piece of exclusivity from the game that is only awarded to people who beat the boss on Future.
I see the other side of that now.
Yeah, they are pretty weak, but is it intended to be a trophy or is it intended to be a boss killing dino? There's lots of stuff you get in games that may not have a use other than to show off how big your balls are, or not, as the case may be.
Trophy would be killed if it was level 1000. Yeah, it would.
Yeah, totally. But it's like,
I suppose anything at Super Breed is a contender for a boss killing dino, to be fair, but
yeah, I suppose you could get an army of Trikes, you get an army of Ankies, but they don't quite carry the same status, do they?
and yes, kind of like the Phoenix too. Not really a good practical use, but a fun thing to have and say you've actually done.
Actually, there is a use for it. I can't remember what it was.
I think it cooks meat, doesn't it? Phoenix, or does it smelt as well?
That's it, Black Pearls.
Black pearls. Yeah, I was always quite disappointed with the Magmasaur as well about its smelting rate. I think they could have made that way better.
Yeah.
It would be so strong and so useful if it could smelt decently as well.
So, interesting though, I don't think we've blacklisted Fenrir from being breedable. It's not something we're doing, is it?
I don't think it is.
I'm just trying to think, how would we then make it breedable?
It most probably could be just a vanilla thing that they don't allow it to breed, but it's not denied from the propagator or anything, is it?
No, we haven't explicitly blocked it, I don't think. Let me do a quick check. I am looking. I am not streaming. I am streaming. Oh, bye-bye. Stop streaming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's have a look. Cloning, no. Converter, no. Mutator. Nope, it's not blocked.
Could be like a vanilla block on
Well,
it.
sorry, when you say we can defo make it breedable, I'm curious how.
Yeah, if you know something, Turtle. Bill.
Yeah, let me know.
No, Kara, it's not blacklisted on a mutator.
No, it's definitely not. I'm just looking at the config right now. Saying that though, we've got allow breeding as a blacklisted mode. So people can't force breed things like mechs and shit like that, and skiffs and titans and anything else that they want to pulse with a mutator. So it's a non-breedable dino. Does it have a gender? I'm assuming they have gender. They're all the same gender, maybe. Yeah, but all the Fenrirs you get, are they all the same gender? Okay, so it's just non-breedable then. The only way to make you able to breed it would be turn on the allow breeding pulse from the mutator. And if we do that, that opens up a whole can of worms from other stuff.
Yeah, that is a massive can of worms. It's very, very exploitable. It might sound like a cool idea, but it will ditch the server.
We can only blacklist things from using the mutator altogether. Yes, we can blacklist things.
No way to then add mutations so we can make them stronger. Well, that's exactly what the Fear in the Forest rewards were. They would have worked on Fenrir's. Big brain stuff. Everybody blew them on dummies, didn't
they? You have the same problem there, Smiley. It's again, we then have to start building blacklists of loads of dinos. Yeah, you see, that's the thing with the event server, the kind of stuff that we're planning. So you'll have your world bosses, and they'll be your source of mutations, and then we've got these other rewards, which are like 1-level boosts and stuff like that.
So the rewards that can go out on those bosses can be special stuff and worth doing.
If you've finished Fjordjaw and you've got your Fenrirs and you want to make an OP Fenrir that you can really show off, then you're going to have to start cracking the world boss challenge. But to be brutally honest, guys, the amount of work that we'd have to put into making sure that we don't miss anything. We enable force breeding on the propagator or the mutator, and then suddenly we've now got to go through whole lists of dinos and make sure that we block the appropriate dinos and stuff like that.
Yes,
Well,
yes,
it's
Cara,
not
that
not
is
just
possible.
we can make them drop whatever we want them to drop. Plus, I'm planning on putting some raidable bases on there as well, so it becomes an event server, not just a world boss server. So, for example, we could have the secret lab, which spawns on there, which is one of the Wicked Ninja's secret biological research labs, and it could have all sorts of wonderful goodies in there if you can break in and steal them.
Yeah. One of the reasons it's taking so long, because if we crack the mechanics of how we do things properly, we can do lots of stuff on that event server, stuff that nobody else has. It's just time invested for the event server stuff. There's possibilities are endless of the stuff you can do. You can have different tiers of events and stuff for different levels of player, and there's lots that can be done. It's just all hard work. But if we lay the framework for it properly and take time and do it decently, you can build on all that. It's going to be amazing. Got similar plans for the Rust server as well.
Yeah, I can't say how excited I am about the Rust stuff. I think it's going to be a very exciting experience that won't leave you feeling like you've just been dragged over the coals by a hardcore PvP raider. It'll actually be a fun. I think it'll be a fun building and combat experience and exploration as well. There's tons of stuff to explore on that map and places to find and things to do and events to partake in. But so this is kind of why we've held back on pushing Rust or advertising Rust, because when we do advertise it, it's going to be something completely different to Rust. So yeah, the base game will be Rust, but it'll be something that we've built that's different. It may as well not be called Rust, but is Rust, if you know what I mean. So I think that'd be quite exciting. Yeah, event server, we want to turn it into proper events, a place where people can go. They can have like their own chunk of private time over there to kill, destroy, raid, ravage, and use the dinos that they've spent ages breeding.
Yeah. God, furiously typing. Sounds intriguing. There you go. Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of stuff we can do. What we don't want to do is rush it and have to rip it apart again, you see. So I think we're very close now.
Oh, what you guys don't get, just so that you understand how this works, us going through Discord and on YouTube. On Discord, it's a watch party, which seems to have stopped.
It's because I had to open your stream as well.
Oh.
Need to work out details for that sort of thing.
So people can watch the YouTube stream through Discord, and all they do is they just mute the stream, listen to the conversation. Meanwhile, we've got both chats open in Discord and on YouTube side by side, so we can see what's going on.
Yeah.
The end game for the format, I would hope, is that we go out on as many channels as possible and have, it's just life. We're going to have multiple chats that we monitor.
Yeah, I've got some ideas on how we integrate the chat together into the stream. It's a work in progress. It's something I'm working on as I'm doing other stuff as well. So bear with us. But yeah, it's going to get better.
Though, to be honest, I'm not entirely convinced the chat has to be in the stream. There's a lot of people out there that do roundtables like this and conversations, that don't have the chat incorporated, and as long as we'll read out your questions and then we'll answer them in context. There's kind of like I don't see there's any massive reason for it.
Yeah, that's true.
But bear in mind, we'll pick and choose the questions that we read out because we can't answer everything that comes through on chat.
Exactly, Cara. Yeah, that's what DJ's just said. Yeah. Multiple ways of doing it. I like the idea of being transparent, so let people who are watching back see also what took place in the other channel. There are ways and means. Cool. So I think we're kind of rounding up for the day then.
I think so, yes.
Nice and short and sweet.
Why is there an orange stone circle in the middle of the desert on Ragnarok? That is a legacy of World Boss Arena. So, as you're new, Melodious, we used to have a schedule of what we call world bosses that would spawn on various maps throughout the week. And those world bosses would be a significant challenge, harder than any boss currently in Arc, and the rewards would reflect that. What we found, though, is people started dogpiling. Yeah, like Savage Acro.
Yeah.
People started dogpiling those bosses and trivializing them, and also causing performance issues for those participating. So yeah, we had a Karkanos, a Magmasaur, a Lava Golem, various Domination Rexes, Dodo, and the Savage Acro, and they had minions as well. So yeah, we had to remove them temporarily while we work on a dedicated map for our events and other fun things to do.
Totally.
The Dodo of Doom was my favourite.
Yeah, the orange circles, we used to ring the arenas with them because the domes were quite off-putting to see. It was like immersion breaking, so we ring them all with the orange crystals. And I guess it's clean-up time. We need to...
Yeah.
Admins!
How did we put them in? We didn't use some
They were planters, I believe.
Yeah.
Giant dodo bosses. It's doable. The problem with making the creatures over large is some of them have the hitboxes expand and become very gawky. We tried a couple of times.
You'd have to pick the dino that you enlarge very carefully. Dodos, while they look cool, they became a little unwieldy. It was like having a giant wet sponge bouncing around the arena.
Yes, please, Taylor. That would be great.
Except for the Savage Acro one, we're leaving that running at the moment.
The shark was cool, though. I think he worked really well. Nobody's seen the shark yet.
Oh man, don't the exomech, the RTS mode for the exomech. I mean, what I think they must have been experimenting there, but I'm pretty sure they were on crack when they designed that. RTS Arc. It's like, yeah, let's just throw it in with Genesis 2, and if people like it, maybe we can make an RTS out of it. I feel that a lot of the stuff they were doing with Genesis and Genesis 2, they were using as a test bed for concepts for Arc 2.
Maybe.
So dynamic missions, kind of bosses and shop and the hex store, and teleporting to different areas and having multiple regions and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I had not thought of it like that, but yes, possibly.
I'm pretty sure that a lot of the concepts they were coming up with were like, right, okay, let's try this stuff out, see how our audience reacts to it, and then see if we actually want to put it into Arc 2 or not.
Savage Capra boss. That sounds intriguing.
Anyway, let's wrap it up for this evening.
Yes, we'll wrap it up. So thank you for attending. We've been the Wicked Ninjas. You have all been awesome as usual. We will see you next week. And don't forget the tickets about the dead servers, please. Good nighty.
Not that that's a regular occurrence.
No. Just if it does, please do ticket it. Don't make me, get shouted at in general chat. Where's the server? I didn't see it.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
And girls.
And girls.
And women and men.